Let us continue with our lesson, and today we'll go and learn about the MVC in Android. So MVC is a model view controller and it's an architectural design pattern, and today we'll go and learn about the MVC in Android. And Android by default will make use of a MVC architectural design pattern. So if you have been using Android or Android development for now, then you may have noticed that it makes use of a MVC architectural design pattern by default. And by now you may be wondering that I have not been using any kind of design pattern or architecture design pattern for my app. So why should I use architecture, or why should I architecture my Android application with MVC, MVP or MVPM? So why should I make use of it? So the simple answer over here is that if we make use of architecture, a proper architecture for our Android project, it helps us to organize our project in a proper way. So it will help you to build unit tests properly. It will help you to debug the class in a proper way. Like, let's say, it will help you to keep track of all of your huge classes that you have created, and also it will help you to maintain the maintainability of your app. So first thing that we keep in mind is a simplicity. So it will simplify our project in Android application. And the second thing we can keep in mind is a testability. So it will help us to test our application more efficiently. If you want to write a unit test, then you must make use of a proper architecture component. So if you are working for some company and you want to have a unit test, or you want to write a unit test, a proper unit test, then there must be some architectural design. If you don't have any architectural design pattern, then you cannot test your app properly. And the another thing is a maintenance cost. So it will help you to reduce your maintenance cost by basically like when you want to add or remove or any kind of feature, it will be more easy for you to add a feature, remove a feature. So that's all of about the architecture design pattern. Why we should implement an architecture design pattern in our Android application. So I hope you guys got it, and let's go and see some of the things about the MVC. So let me take one pen from here and let me choose one color, and let's go and I will draw a three simple box over here, and let me draw a three simple box over here, and 1, 2, and 3. So we have a 3 box over here, and let's see that this is a MVC, or a model view controller, we can say, right? Model view controller. So let's say this is a view. So it's a VIE view, and that this should be of a C, or a controller, CONTROLLER controller, and this is our model. So MODEL model. So this is a view, and this is a controller, and this is a model. So we have a 3 box over here. So let's go and see about the view. So what is a view? So view is everything that you write here, XML. So every layout that you create comes under a view. So view means that anything that you can see on your screen, like a button, or you create some text, or you write edit text, anything you see on image view, anything you see on your screen, we can consider as a view. So view will be on in the view, we keep of view, and we have a controller. So in controller, we can say that about the activity, activity, and also about the fragment, and this is our activity and a fragment, or we can call it as just a activity or a fragment over here. So controller is the one we can see about controlling our UI event. So we have activity and a fragment over here. And finally, we have a model over here. So what is your model? Model is something like your data. So it holds a data, anything related to the data, or you can say your business logic. Sorry for the pen over here, business logic. So this is your business logic and data. So anything related to data or your business logic should come on the model. So what it will do is the view here, the XML will send an event to a controller. So let's say a button click event, or a view clicks a button over here and sends the event. Let's say it's a event. It sends the event to a controller, and controller will decide what to do with it. So this is a controller that will decide. Let's say I want, when a user clicks on a button in a view, user clicks on a button, then what that button should do. It should go and download some data from a server, or it should open a new activity, or it should do some kind of task. So that is event is sent, and this will send after it does, and it will send back the reply to the view, and the view reflects that what event that has been triggered. So if it's asked to open a new activity, it send the event to a controller, and when an event, after receiving event, it performs some action and send back to the view. So the view receives back the event that the controller has triggered. So that's the view, and the controller work over here. So controller basically works on the event that the view has triggered. And finally, we have over here is a model. So controllers knows about the model. So the view over here, you can see that view doesn't know about the model. So only the controller knows about the model. So let's say a user requests a list of a user. So let's say give me a list of a user, right? So give me a list of a user. So if he clicks on a button, he clicks on a user, clicks on a button, and it sends the event to a controller, and in the controller it will decide from the model. It goes to the model over here and gets the data. It gets the data from here, and the model will send back the data to the controller, and now controller will send that list back to the view, and the user can see the view in the screen. So that's the model, view, and controller, how it works. And there are a lot of, mainly three kind of architectural design pattern, which is one is an MVC, an MVP, and an MVVM. So basically all of this has some kind of credit as well as some drawback. So for the MVC, we can say the drawback is the testability. So because of whenever you want to do perform a unit test, because this view and the controller is tightly coupled, so you can see that these two are tightly coupled, the view and the activity or your controller is tightly coupled. That's why it makes more difficult for your unit testing. As well as if you take a note that if this controller class or activity over here doesn't control properly, you will have a lot of code over here, and that will make your activity or a controller very difficult to maintain. It will have a lot of codes, a lot of functionality inside it. If you want to implement anything that's inside this view, you have to come to over this controller and you have to write a code, and that may make your controller very large. And if you have very large controller, that means that it is very difficult to maintain. And another thing about the flexibility, so these two are tightly coupled over here, and it doesn't, which makes that this doesn't have a flexibility. So the view is tightly coupled with a controller, and controller is tightly coupled with a model, and that make your application or or app that you are building is more not a flexible. So you cannot have a flexibility over here. So I think that's all for this lesson, and we'll continue with our lesson. In the next video, we'll go and see about the MVC, and let's meet up in the next lecture. Till then, have a great day.